There's nothing wrong with the picture. I'm just recording my voice. Today is Sunday, March 2nd, 2025. It's about 9 a.m. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to keep or edit. Just talking. Wanted to get some thoughts out. I might use them, might not. I don't know. Anyway, I was born on April 23rd, 1965, in Omaha, Nebraska. I think I should start out by telling the story of how my mother well, let me back up. My mother used to say that, well, scratch that. People used to tell my mom that she should write a book about her life. And I kind of wish she had written some things down. She told me some stories when I was younger, but when you're younger, you don't pay as much attention to the stories that other people are telling, especially your parents, because you're kind of consumed with your own life. Teenager. It's normal. But then later you regret it. You wish you had paid more attention and asked more questions. She once told me that she had to leave home. Well, let me back up again. It's probably going to need a lot of editing. My mother was born visually impaired. But as far as she knows, she was the only one in her family that had that condition of cataracts. And of course, I inherited that from her. And my children inherited it from me. I'm getting off track again here. I think the best place to start is when my mother was, I believe she said she was 16. She went to her parents. Okay, stop. My mother was born in 1925. So it was a different world then. People didn't talk about sex openly. And parents definitely didn't talk to their children about sex. It was just like a taboo thing. And they just kind of learned on their own. And but to protect my mother, her mother, my grandmother, told her that that if she kissed a boy, she could get pregnant. And so that, she felt that would stop her from becoming sexually involved with somebody, from becoming pregnant. But because of that, my mom approached her parents, or her mother, when she was 16 because she was afraid that she might be pregnant. She told them that her brother Lloyd had been touching her, of course, inappropriately. And I don't remember specifics. I don't really think she went into it, but it was enough that she was concerned that she could be pregnant. And so the parents confronted Lloyd and told him that he had two choices. He could either wait for the sheriff or go join the army. And he chose to go join the army. They took my mother to the hospital to have her checked out. Douglas County Hospital off of South 42nd Street between, Leavenworth and Center. I'm not sure what the name of the street is, but anyway. It was called Douglas County Hospital at the time. They wanted to have her checked out. And while she was waiting for the doctor, and he finally came in and asked her if she understood why she was there. And she told her parents wanted to have her examined to make sure she was all right. And he told her, did she know that they wanted to have her sterilized, have her fixed, so she couldn't have children? And she said, no. And he said, do you want to have children? And she said, yes. So he asked her if she wanted his help. And she said yes, and he left, and after a while came back and told her that he knew an older lady who needed some help around her house and was willing to take her on, let her live there for board and room in exchange for her help. But that she couldn't tell her parents where she was living, because since she was underage, they could just come and get her, and she wouldn't have any choice. So he asked her if she would agree to that, and she said yes. And so he told her that that when he would have to finish his rounds. Oh, excuse me. That's right. He took her out to the parking lot and had her hide in his car in the back seat down and told her to stay low. And that after he was done with his shift, he would take her to the lady's house. And so when he was done, he drove her off the hospital parking lot, took her there to the lady, and that's where she lived. That doctor took a chance of being caught and destroying his own career for my mother so that she would be able to have children. I wish I knew his name so I could go to his family and tell them the story, and that, her or their father or grandfather, whatever, is responsible for several lives that were born and lived as a result of his kindness and his courage to help. Anyway, when she was 17, I think it was 1942, she was working at what is now called the Rose Theater on Hardy Street. It used to be called the Astro, and before that, years when she was working there, and when she was 17, it was called the Paramount Theater. Anyway, but at some point, I don't know, at some point around 17, she had called for a cab, and that's how she met her first husband, Frank Fisher. Now, my oldest brother, Ron Fisher, he was born in, I think, 47 or 44, I'm not sure. Anyway, he died in 2006, and he was 61, I think. No, 62. So you can do the math, I don't know. Anyway, Ron had several children. And also, Mom had my sister, Kim Fisher, and I don't remember what year she was born, but she also adopted her friend Faye. Let's see, what was her name? Her original name was Faye Pruitt, her maiden name, but she married my cousin, what was his name? Robert Baker, which is my mother's sister, Frances, her son, Robert. Anyway, Robert and Faye got married, and at some point, Robert was in the Army, and while he was overseas, Faye got pregnant from another man, and that's how Jeff came about. And she had called my mother, she was living in California, and asked her if she would be willing to come and adopt Jeff and raise him. So so those are my three siblings: Ron, Jeff, and Kim. Ron was 20 years older than me. Jeff was 6 years older than me, or is, and Kim's 4 years older than me. But all those lives are responsible, and mine, because of that doctor. Anyway, like I said, I was born with cataracts as well. They did surgery on me when I was younger. I don't remember what years, but they did one on one eye and then on the other later. And at the time, it was an experimental surgery to remove cataracts. And but unfortunately, back then, they would just remove the entire capsule that had the cataract in it and just throw it away. Nowadays, they can suck out the cataract and put in an artificial lens in place. And that's what my children have had. My son Joel and my daughter, originally named Jamie, but she changed her name to Mavis. They had those surgeries, so they can see better. They're still considered legally blind, but they were able to do something to help them with their vision. Anyway, that's just getting into details, but basically my vision is 2400 in my left eye and 2200 in my right, and I have no peripheral vision. That just basically means that my left eye is almost completely blind. I see some light and color, but I couldn't really walk around. Like if I covered my right eye, my good eye, I wouldn't be able to just walk around, probably without bumping into things. So most of my vision's on my right.